Let's try and talk about all of this now, if we have time, with Arturo Lopez Levy, who's with the Holy Names University, where he is an assistant professor of international relations and politics, and he joins us now from San Francisco. Arturo, first of all, what is behind the expulsion of these diplomats and the doctors, do you think? Is there something more to it than just, what we see on the face of it?
John, in the case of Bolivia, what we have is that because of big conflicts around the elections of October 20, there has been a tremendous political polarization between the right-wing opposition that has basically overcome the moderate leaders that were leading the opposition before the protest. President Morales ran to a very difficult and, in some cases, illegitimate, or in some opinion, illegitimate fourth term. And unfortunately, he was not able to manage the situation well. And as a result of that, the country began significant protests. But the moderate leaders were overcome by this radical group, and eventually they are the one controlling the government now. The army, it's a typical coup d'etat. It walks like a coup d'etat. It speaks like a coup d'etat. It's a coup d'etat. And they are basically blaming foreign forces, basically Cuba and Venezuela, for protests that are genuinely popular. So as a result of that, they decided to break relations with Venezuela as a matter of showing their political stand, and also they basically expelled the Cuban doctors that they accused of being promoting with a ludicrous charge that they were the ones promoting the demonstration.
I see. I understand completely now. Does this speak to the interim leader and those who are left in Venezuela, in Bolivia, running the country, really struggling because of their inexperience?
Well, I think it's more an issue of, well, they are very inexperienced because they have not run a government for quite a long time.
Right.
Evo Morales has been in power for the last 14 years, and before things were not very good. Notice that they claim to be guided by the Bible, and the Bible, for sure, is a very interesting document, but it's not a manual for how to run things in a country. And in this case, they basically add to their inexperience this desire to show some sympathy for the anti-Castro and the anti-Maduro position in Miami and other areas, and that's why they have done this kind of, they have taken this kind of steps. The Cuban doctors in Bolivia are welcomed by the majority of the population, and they have done a fantastic job improving the health care of one of the most poor nations in the hemisphere.
Okay. Look, finally, Evo Morales is in Mexico now. He's offering to come back if he's invited. His party still has a majority, doesn't it? Do you think he might be invited back?
Well, obviously, the opposition, and particularly those that now control the government, because these were the opposition to Morales that now control the government, it's not now in the hands of Carlos Mesa Guibert, that was the original candidate of the opposition, but it's in the hands of very radical right-wing people. So I doubt that if it is in their hands, they will invite Morales back. Morales also had basically ruined a good opportunity of finishing his terms in a good position, because despite of his very good record in economic terms, and despite his good record improving welfare in the country, unfortunately he insisted on a fourth term in office that the Constitution explicitly forbids.
Understood. Arturo, thank you very much for explaining that to us. We're very grateful. Thank you very much.